Today, our group will talk about a short story that is called The Mystery of Swain, written by Zen Cho. First of all, we are going to talk about the author.
Cho was born in 1986. Is a Malaysian fantasy author who lives and works in England. She was the joint winner of the IAFA William L. Crawford Fantasy Award in 2015 for her short story collection, Spirits Abroad. Cho was a law degree from Cambridge University, and she currently works as a lawyer in London. Cho's debut novel, Sorcerers to the Crown, was published in 2015. It was a finalist for the Locus Award for the Best First Novel in 2016, and in the same year, Cho won the British Fantasy Award for the Best Newcomers.
Next, we are going to talk about the genre of this short story. This short story could be categorized into several genres due to its diversity and uniqueness. So, the first genre is horror or paranormal because there is an involvement of a character that is a traditional paranormal creature, orang minyak. And the second genre that is present in this story is suspense or mystery. Shang was trying to find out who has been stalking Belinda. It was very thrilling and scary seeing all those creepy things happening to Belinda, from her photos being taken, the necklace keep on reappearing, and her shirt being missing and then found with an oil stain. It gives the reader suspense and keep them wondering on who is the culprit. And the last genre is humor. Despite being a paranormal thriller story, very few hilarious dialogues and situations could also be found. For example, when Sham exclaimed that all the hantu online now, For me personally, I think that is very funny. So it is very admirable how the author managed to inject humor into a supposed to be serious confrontation scene. Moving on to the synopsis of the story, Belinda and Sham are best friends and are Malaysians. They both are studying in Cambridge University. Belinda is very popular among guys. She always get gifts from them. She always got confession. And Belinda was given an iPhone by Yurik, but she wanted to give it back because Yurik is a creep. And Sham encouraged her to do so. They both found a necklace outside of their window for Belinda, but they didn't know who it is from. Belinda taught Sham how to use Facebook, and she started to use them regularly to stalk other people. She found a lot of information about other people. She also somehow found an account that was stalking Belinda. Belinda asked Sham about where the necklace that she got. Sham said it was kept inside a box under her bed, but when she went to look for it, it's not there. Belinda then said that she found the necklace in her closet instead with a note that said, "This is for you." Sham confessed about the stalker account on Facebook, and Sham started to ask around to find out about the stalker's identity. And apparently everyone seems to know him except them. She heard that Bullet was a buaya that loves to flirt with a lot of girls. And then another mysterious occurrence happens with the necklace. Belinda said that she was trying to get rid of the necklace, but it somehow ended up back in her closet. And then another weird thing happened with her t-shirt. Belinda lost it, and she got an email from Bullet saying that he has her t-shirt and he returned it through her pigeonhole. And then they found out that the t-shirt is stained with oil. Belinda was invited to a dinner, and she told Sham about that. She felt like Bullet is going to be there, so Sham wanted to tag along to confront Bullet. At the dinner, Sham arrived first, and Rohan panicked upon seeing Sham. They all waited for Belinda because Belinda went to the toilet first, and then when Belinda arrived, Bullet finally appeared, and they found out that Bullet is actually an orang minyak. with the curly hair. Bullet told Belinda that if he touched her eyes, Belinda will see him normally as a human being and not as an Oramina, and they can finally be together. And Belinda refused and called him a creep, but he insisted that she would not feel that way after he touched her eyes. Sham had enough, and she went and poured a liquid over Bullet and turned him into a black grease, and he melted away with his flesh melting and stuff, and he's gone. They left the dinner and Belinda thanked Sham, and that is the end of the story. Thank you.
Now we are going to talk about the themes or issues that are in the story. Two themes are going to be discussed in this video. The first theme is people ignore sexual harassment that is happening in the community. So the short story is basically about a pretty girl that got harassed after countless and relentless advances from men. The key features of this story is on how Belinda, the pretty girl, was stalked by this one particular man. That man was known as Bullet Srikaya, and apparently Bullet Srikaya is a well-known figure in the small Malaysian student community. Sham and Belinda are the only people that did not know the man. The man was said to be a kind of buaya, which in no way bring in a positive connotation, but the community around them are saying that this creepy man meant well, that he is friendly and meant no harm. The irony is that they are also saying that he is the worst of the worst. He is a pervert and a dangerous man that know no boundaries. A man that any girl should avoid but hail as heroes among the desperate single man. The second theme is the conflict of the LGBTQ community with their religion. This short story is one of the 3 short stories in the anthology that depict the LGBTQ community. The issues of how religions and LGBTQ does not work with each other is portrayed with how Sham reacted to Belinda saying that the god is punishing her for not dating any of the men that tried to date her. In the story, Sham said, "This is what comes of being religious," implying that she is not. And then later she talks about how Belinda's god is probably helping them because she now had an idea on who is the creepy man, further emphasizing that she had a liberal outlook on the idea of God.
Let us talk about one of the literary elements in this story, which is symbolism. The first symbolism that we can see from the story is the name itself, Bullet Srikaya. The first part of his name is Bullet. The characteristic of Bullet is that they are dangerous and hard to avoid. This symbolizes what kind of man that Sham and Belinda are facing. This man, Bullet, is very dangerous as he is an oral minyak himself. He is also hard to avoid as throughout the story we can see how desperate Belinda and Sham trying to avoid this man. However, at the end of the story we can see that they have to face this man. The second part of his name is Srikaya. Srikaya is slimy and sticky. It symbolizes the physical state of the oral minyak, as he is covered by oil and it's making him slimy and sticky. The second symbolism exists in the part they have oil in their ears and eyes but it didn't hurt them. The part they have oil in their ears and eyes can symbolize how people ignore men like Bullet because they accuse him for being a sexual harasser. The second part, which is it didn't hurt them, they ignore sexual harassment happening around them because they think it didn't happen to them or it didn't happen to their family.
The anthology Spirit Abroad is best described as progressive, whimsical, and sometimes thought-provoking. It centers on the mythical folklores and the supernatural entities that embodies the Malaysian culture. The mystery of Suet put its own renditions of Orang Minyak and Sherlock Holmes, combining it into a story that represents the Malaysian culture. It is a story that people can mull over on its deeper message, while still can be used for light reading with its simple and familiar use of language, and also for its clear and witty plot.